hunting down 100 teenagers who were born in space to Earth to find out if it's still toxic, like if they can live here. But these kids have never seen Earth. They're kids at that, so they don't come down.
These kids were in prison.
And they were in prison.
Oh,
yeah, they were in prison.
I haven't watched it.
I watched 4 seasons in like 2 weeks.
I watched the first 2.
I was super into it.
Yeah, I watched it. You must have watched it recently.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Like, I didn't even know it was a show on the CW.
What show y'all talking about?
The
100.
About a year ago.
100?
Yeah.
It was still in 2 seasons, and then I just had
4Fives podcast.
It is everything. It's so good. I love that show.
I did like the lead. I can't think of the name.
Clark.
You started recording audio already?
Yeah, Clark. When I first watched the show, I didn't like it. I didn't like her role because I felt like she got to be that lead, like the leader so fast, and it wasn't a build-up of her character. It was just like, oh, you just running shit. Cool. Okay, that's you.
It makes sense to me.
Alright.
It made sense. I mean, it did, but I just didn't. I wish they would have wrote it better. I didn't like the writing of her character to come into play. It makes absolute sense. She should be like her.
Y'all still want me to take the audio, right? Just so we have it.
I just shared it to the 4-5 page. Y'all supposed to be talking though. Y'all drunk.
We was already talking. We just stopped for like 2 seconds. Come out of nowhere.
First of all, don't judge me.
I shouldn't have asked.
You judged that.
I ain't judging y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's up?
4Fives podcast, first one of 2018. Take 5. Action, bitch. Alright. So, everywhere. But, yeah, I never watched that show.
Yeah,
I got
a fake ass Capri Sun.
Yeah, because I think the main thing you should do on a snow day is
relax as
hard as you can.
You said relax as hard as you can?
Yeah, enjoy it as much as you can.
No, I mean,
Come on, Star Wars?
you know what irritated me the most?
But yes, Star Wars, enjoy it as much as you can.
What irritated me the most about the snow day is when I go on my social media,
Young Padawans.
people were still posting these posts on Instagram. Y'all remember the snowstorm of '96? Like, yes,
always
bitch.
goes back.
I remember the snowstorm of '96, 100%. I remembered it last year. Like every time y'all see flurries in the forecast, y'all niggas think we don't remember '96. Yes, we remember '96.
Remember it every year.
Was it a legitimate city shutdown?
Yeah, what you mean?
As far as the total accumulation, do you feel like we've had bigger storms when we were younger?
Yeah.
That the city did not close for?
Nah.
Yeah?
I feel like
that shit is like 12 feet.
I walked to school, I walked to school in like 5
12 inches, I'm sorry. 12 feet.
We got like 6 inches of snow. I remember going to school in that though.
I do remember going to school in snow.
Yeah, they close the schools much for less now. My daughter's school closed Wednesday night for Thursday and Friday.
I didn't get the end Friday until Thursday.
No, they made the call Wednesday for Thursday and Friday. And I was like,
but was it legitimate?
It was, I think.
The roads are still pretty bad.
I don't know, because I had to go to work both days and I
still had to make it. So you didn't.
And I made it and it wasn't terrible. And the last snowstorm we had. Yeah, because I get to work pretty early. But no, I'm not, because I leave work around 4 o'clock, so I think that's when traffic should start. And typically it takes me 40 minutes to get home, but it took me 45 on Thursday. It took me 45. But the snowstorm prior to that, it took me 2 hours. I don't know what the difference was, because this was way more snow. I don't know what the difference was that time. I really don't.
More people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that started while we were at work, that last one. It wasn't, we didn't wake up to it. It started, or it was light in the morning, but it got really heavy during the day.
Let me just say something. The only benefit for me of the snowstorm is that the PPA wasn't out. So if you park somewhere where it was 2 hour parking, you was good.
Oh, I ain't
that's the South Philly problem.
That's just in 2 hours. You really gonna come out? You gonna come outside when it's 4 degrees and give a nigga a ticket?
Yeah. I just got told last week, and I didn't tell you.
What?
So I go down Old City. Yeah, I go down Old City or whatever. The parking sign said from 8:30 to 9:30, whatever the case may be. I mean, from 8:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm paid up to 11, and it's free after that. Hell no. The sign facing the opposite way said after 11 p.m. your car will be towed. But the shit was facing the other way. So I'm reading the PPA sign which underneath of it, which said I could park there. So I go pay my meter and shit. Go into the bar. I come out. My shit gone. I'm like, hold the fuck up. Where my car going? Right there on 2nd and Chestnut outside of the Blue Martini. I went to Cuba Libre, that bar right there.
The Spanish Papi.
I go down there, dog. Everybody in there is sick. So you know how you tight already. You get in there, you mad as shit, ready to kick over trash cans and shit. I walk in there, and people so tight. I was just like, damn. I ain't really got nothing to be tight about. Everybody in this joint pissed. So I just went in there and paid my fine, man. PPA been getting over years though, so you can get that free parking spot, take it. Shit.
Right. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. You should rotate your chair closer down so you're actually facing the camera.
Yeah, but I don't have to be facing the camera, bro. They know who I am. But nonetheless,
I'm sorry, you famous. My bad. Niggas know who you are by looking at your back.
there you go.
You funny as shit.
100%.
But no, I know. You know. So what did everybody here do on a snow day? What did you do yesterday on a snow day? We'll go down the line. What did you do?
Nah, I just told you. I relaxed, stayed in the house with the kids, had to work from home.
You work both days?
It was two snow days?
I worked on Friday. Thursday I stayed home.
Friday.
I worked from home Thursday, and then Friday I had to go back into the office, so it wasn't really too eventful for me, but I still had work to do. Shit got done. So I didn't really get to enjoy it. I had to shovel a little bit. Snow days ain't like it used to be. Ain't like niggas outside having snowball fights and
No, that's because we're adults. Snow days have always been like this for
But the kids ain't
adults.
the kids ain't the kids. That's what I'm saying. Me and Radio,
we were shoveling. Remember?
We used to go and make bread. Had put a quick bean. That's because we was about money when we was like 12. Like we was, we used to go make bread. Yo, remember we used to
up and down the hill on Dix.
That's what I'm saying, right down there. But then we used to go right back on Dix, and for some reason they used to have like a pickup truck in that joint, and we would throw shit at people, then duck back down, throw snowballs at cars and shit, hurry them duck it down, and just hope that they ain't see us. Be like,
those days over, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't no kids outside. It wasn't no kids shoveling. We was talking about this in the group chat.
Yeah.
There wasn't no kids out shoveling. It was like the old heads, like all the old heads around my way though, like the street dudes. They was out there like, yo, you need
like 18, 19, and I saw young 20s. I see
nobody was out there.
Young teens or preteens.
I saw grown men. Because it'd be
grown men too.
Look at the gas. I think the gas station translates to a snow day, because you know what I'm saying. It seems like the people at the gas station that's asking to pump your gas is getting older and older and older. Like nigga came to me like, yo, you need help with me gas? I'm like, bro, no. Nigga, you a whole grown ass man. Like this is not valet. This is not valet. It's the gas station. Like.
In Pennsylvania, you know, if you're from a state like Jersey, then maybe. But in Pennsylvania, who needs help pumping gas?
I'm like, no, my arm. Hold on, my arm. It doesn't quite work.
I got out the car by myself, knowing I didn't have the skill sets.
It's a way you gotta do it.
I was just waiting for somebody to come.
It takes years and years to pump gas right on time. You need to get that last
I don't mind giving it to a kid, but I give the kid the money and be like, you don't gotta pump my gas.
That's what I do. Like, I don't need to pump my gas.
That's not a good.
I don't knock it when it's a kid.
You're not doing nothing.
It's not a good hustle.
What happened to the squeegee man? The nigga that would come by and be like, yo, let me let me watch your windows off.
There still be dudes right there on Island Avenue.
Why not do it at the gas station?
But I have seen it like.
Why not do it at the gas station? It's a fucking squeegee right there. You ain't gotta buy shit.
I just squeegee my car earlier.
That's what I'm saying. There's no overhead. You got all your tools you need. You know what I'm saying?
I squeegee I couldn't see out my window. It was like I kept using that window cleaner shit wasn't working. So
my car battery died.
Windshield wiper fluid?
Yeah, windshield wiper fluid. That shit wasn't working.
My battery died, so that shit been sitting on 20th Street while all these cars just been splashing. The whole right side of my car is just white. I'm mad as shit. Like, yo.
That's not my car. My car looks.
Bro, I can't move it. It's dead. You ain't get my text message?
Yeah.
Because you got a truck or like an SUV, like a
SUV.
Yeah, so your battery you probably got a stronger battery.
They got car engines
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If I can jump you, I can jump you. A battery is a battery.
It's not true. You can't put the same battery you put in a 4-cylinder that you would put in a fucking pickup truck.
But that's what I'm saying. His SUV is the economy joint. It's not like the.
Why you coming in on a man's truck?
How is that a diss?
You call it economy.
It's fuel efficient.
Why is economy a diss?
Why is economy a diss?
Just economy sounds like cheap. It sounds like when economy.
Why is it a diss?
I'm just saying.
Why is it a diss to be economic?
It has a negative connotation to it.
No, to you.
I was bigging him up. I was saying I need that,
But what I'm explaining to you is the specs of his car. the specs of his vehicle is not a big SUV. It doesn't have a Tahoe or a F-150.
Why couldn't you say that after the podcast? Is what I'm saying.
Nigga, we having a conversation. This is the problem. You forget we're having a conversation. We're talking. And I'm not a show. It's not. I'm being me. So as I was explaining to you, he doesn't have one of those SUVs that are big, high-power batteries that could fuel your car up the way you're expecting it to. So maybe you
batteries fuel cars. Is this what you're telling me?
All right.
So what'd you do on Snow Day, Darren?
We got lightsabers. I told the story, but no. We're a big I'm trying to cultivate a Star Wars family, so we have a house full of lightsabers. I want to get some more because they're getting dents on them. We fucking fight, dude. We do a lot of fighting in my house, as was probably expected. Yeah. In my house, we do a lot of rough house.
Yo, your son fucking coming. My son put his hands up like this. I was like, yo, nigga, back up. You like 6. He only 3. He walked up to my son like, let's go. And he squared up on my this.
Caden big as shit.
I'm like, bro.
Y'all come right here and tell. Like, he ain't 3. He's definitely 5.
He was there just like, what? He was like,
this is the first time meeting him. He was like, damn near his height.
I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
No, so we did that, and then I worked on the first snow day on Thursday. So I did a lot of work on that day, and then Friday I didn't work at all. And that's when we did the movie watching. Put on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. What else? Something else family friendly.
That's dope.
So how you gonna include we fight a lot, but we also watch something family.
You gotta
It's
balance.
balance. Balance is important.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to have the balance.
Ain't nothing like that family shit.
Yeah.
That should be, you look forward to that shit. Like, man, I can't wait to get home and do nothing. Like, I just want to be with my family.
And just look at them like. Look at
they
this.
start getting on your nerves. You like, yo, go sit your little ass down. Go get on YouTube or something. Get out of my house for like 10 minutes.
You just find shit for them to do, like when it really ain't nothing to do, because you know certain shit stimulates kids and shit. I'm like, you want to go watch the tablet? I want to watch the tablet.
Dude, I have over 4 games in my house. I got a bookshelf that's stocked. My house is so fucking kid friendly. These kids don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Nope.
All they want is the electronics.
That's it.
That's all they want. I'm like, read a book. I'll read you the fucking book. I have no problems reading to my children. Offer to read. Now, again, cultivating Star Wars. I bought some Star Wars books for Christmas. My boy loves it. I get to read a lot of Star Wars stuff. I'm learning a lot of shit I didn't know. I mean, I'm becoming a real fucking Star Wars fan. I'm gonna challenge anybody in a couple months.
Stop saying Trekkie. It's not Trekkie.
It's not Trekkie. You disrespect.
You
me.
being disrespectful. Trekkie is Star Trek. I said that.
I know what Star Trek is. I know it is.
So that's what a Trekkie is. It's for Star Trek.
I tried to watch the new Star Trek. I can't get into it.
So tell me why.
I'm not into it.
This
I can't speak.
Because it's not the same thing. It's two
Those are 2 different fan bases.
I know.
Go to not Comic-Con, but what's they got a Star Trek like.
I went to Comic-Con.
I never saw one.
I really want to embrace my porn nerd. You know what I'm saying?
As you get older, you start to be more comfortable. But let me tell you the worst shit I ever bought, and I thought I was so happy about it when I bought it for my son, because I got 2 boys. I got one that's 3 going on 4, and I got one that's about to be 1. I was like, oh man, I'm about to get my son involved in music. I'm about to get him a guitar, I'm sorry, guitar. That
mother like I turned it. Got my guitar.
That motherfucking drum set. So I got a baby. You remember I tried to take him to that one? It was Leonard's birthday party, but he was crying because it was too loud.
Oh, Caden.
Cairo. Yeah, he's like, I can't take this. So when I tell you Caden bangs on these drums, I'm trying to get him to watch the videos and just like trying to get a little rhythm, like to do cat. This motherfucker just be like, bah, 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 just bang on the drums, and then my other son's over there screaming like, ah! It's just not working out the way that I thought it would work.
You got it playing in your head, like it's gonna work out like this.
I got the videos. You better watch the. I got little shapes on them. So I'm like,
but you gotta recognize his attention span.
No, he'll sit there for about half an hour. Just banging on this shit. I want to play the drums, Dad.
Like when you haven't want him, well, I guess that is attending to something. But yeah, he'll tend to cars. I'm talking about what head. I don't know. I'm not around him as much as you, obviously.
Yeah,
but
it's like my attention span, honestly.
which is shit. You don't have an attention span.
I was never diagnosed with ADGD, so it doesn't really. That's a made up disease. It means you're able to adjust quickly. That's all it means.
Is that what your diagnosis was?
Yes.
It also means you can't stick to one thing for a long time.
I adjust to situations quickly.
Well, not even a long time, for a short period.
And my stipulations to situations, they are a little different than yours.
But I don't fully disagree with you. I mean, to a degree, everybody. No one can truly attend to something. Well, no.
You said what?
I got
some people focus on one thing for a long time.
I know I got scatterbrained. I'll be here. Next minute, I'm thinking about something completely different. Next minute, I want to do something like my shit wanes. Like my
You're just forward thinking.
That's not a disorder. It's
I'm
just
progressive.
life. It's the way
Very
your mind
progressive.
works.
Forward thinking.
I'm a daydreamer.
You're 10 seconds ahead of everything.
Yeah,
10 steps. I'm sorry.
Actually, I left my phone home earlier. So that's what just happened. I was just telling her, we was in the car, I'm like, yo, I'm thinking 2 steps ahead because my phone was sitting right there in front of me. I could have grabbed it, but I'm like, all right, we out the door, like, let's get to this podcast, let's go do it. And I left my phone right there on the table.
So you still have everything back.
No, you went back.
My phone's right there.
Right.
But I'm just saying, being that.
Phone in the crib.
Yeah.
Nothing was happening.
That's rude.
Everything is shut down.
Matter.
Let me go get my phone. And then we keep going. Mind you, you took one for the team because your phone was at my house the whole time at the village.
It's different. She's a girl.
No.
But
I guess maybe not. I'm sorry. We'll talk about that.
No, I'm not gonna leave my phone.
So to say, what did you do on the snow day?
I worked, and that was my snow day for both days. I was at work doing laundry and shit. My kids, like, I work at a school where kids live on campus, so they still need people to be there to staff them. So I had to work. Essential staff. I have a card that says it. If there's an accident and I gotta get around that to get to work, I'm essential staff. I gotta get to work. Doesn't matter what's happening.
Wow.
So that's my life.
Like a fucking cop or nurse or anybody else.
Yep.
Snow days don't mean nothing for them. Except the drivers.
You enjoy that? Is that what you want to do?
I love it. I love my job. Like, I genuinely love my job.
Somebody that loves their job.
I love it.
I don't know that many people that love their job.
I love it.
I mean, as many people as I know, I can't say I know.
What's the ratio?
I'm talking
plenty
about
of people.
like personally, like talking to somebody that love what they do.
So I'm gonna give you
I'm gonna
give you some
work.
I'm like 3 people.
I'm gonna give you some
You
market
work in
research.
corporate.
I'm gonna use some market
This is
research.
more of a non-profit.
Yeah, I know.
More people.
It has nothing to do with
You gotta love it. You
95% of
love
people
it.
don't.
Why else would you do it? You gotta love it.
Hey, 95% of people
It's not
don't
that I
like
love
their
my
job.
job.
You love
At times I have loved my job. I like the impact that I make and I like what I do.
Right, you like the results, the outcome.
Yeah.
You gotta differentiate between where you work and your job. Like your job is your vertical, is your field. So you love your field, you love what you do, but do you love your workplace? Those are 2 different things.
See, I'm lucky. I like have a very isolated work environment. Like for a big agency, I'm like isolated. It's just me and my team essentially. Like other people can obviously access me, but I got a big old office, and then my team has a big office, and they just rock out in there. I'm in my office, or I created a standing desk, and so I rock out with them sometimes. I mean, you definitely got to socialize with your crew. I mean, cultivate that positive working environment. But yeah, I'm good in my working environment. It's just overall, I'm ready to move on. I've given this job. I've been doing this since 2010.
From your workplace or from your vertical?
From child welfare.
You can't take it to kids?
No, I'm tired of you know what I'm saying?
I'm sick of making sure these kids is good. I got my own thing to take care of quick kids. I got my own kids.
That's why you
No,
really.
that's
I
never-
left after a year.
It's
It had nothing to do with the kids.
Like, no, it's
God
not
damn, they
about
got
the
these
kids.
problems don't
Kids
look
are bad as
It's
shit.
it's the accountability. Like on a daily basis, for the low, it's not a low, I make a living wage. For the wage that I make though, the accountability that I have, it's far from balance. I'm responsible for other people's lives. First of all, it's never okay to really put somebody's lives in somebody else's hands. But I'm truly responsible for
Army.
other people's lives. Like,
The baby.
when something happens, who they start looking at? They don't even look at the worker first. In a lot of cases, they start looking at the supervisor first because really it's the supervisor's case. And you just got a worker. You delegating.
Right.
But I've been doing this for what year is it now? 8 years. God damn. Yeah, I've really been doing this for 8 years, but I'm tired of being accountable for other people.
Well, just to be some more
in this way, like in their true life, kids die. I've had kids die. I just had a parent die.
R.I.P.
I'm around that.
I had to cut off ESPN a couple
but I'm helping people too.
Wow. They be talking about these situations where athletes like building relationships with kids that are like cancer patients.
Yeah.
And kids are passing away. Yeah. So you get to see these kids like interact with athletes and stuff. And then the kid just passes. Dog, it was one story about a kid from Delaware. Forget his name, but Carson Wentz was dealing with him. I'm sitting there watching this special. Like the whole time, nobody's saying nothing. The whole room is quiet. This is right before the Eagles game. Everybody was hyped, talking, everything. Next thing I know, the whole room is quiet or whatever. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm not even thinking about or engaged in my environment. I'm tuned into the TV. I was crying the whole time watching it. It was so sad. Watching this kid pass away, this little kid.
Did you really cry though?
Oh, no, I really was sitting there crying. Like, no, they didn't show him. He's already been dead. Like the young boy passed away, and his parents was talking about it. And then I saw another story where the what's the quarterback from Oklahoma name?
Sam Bradford.
No, it ain't. The current quarterback. He just won a Heisman. Anyway, he was with another girl, the young lady.
Oh, the boy that grabbed his nuts.
Him.
So the finger up with the crowd.
He was with one. I'm sitting there watching ESPN. I'm like, y'all gotta turn this shit off. Like, I can't deal with, like, I know it's a reality that parents have to deal with, but watching a child go through that shit is, like, traumatic for me. I'm just like, nah, I gotta change the channel. This shit is killing me. So, like, working in that field, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it has to be some traumatic experience for anybody that's dealing with these kids, and you see them in these situations where they're passing away, or especially if it's from negligence.
I mean, passing away is just the extreme, and you're dealing with
that's part of life, though. That's part of life.
Kids that just have parents who aren't in a good place and are making bad decisions.
Right.
A lot of drugs, not even a lot. Yeah, a lot of drug users, but then not even just a lot of drug users, just a lot of bad decisions. A lot of women who have gotten with predators. The predators are doing bad stuff to the kids. A lot of dads who made just some bad choices. I mean, they were single
older
dad.
siblings who made bad choices.
Definitely. Older siblings perking on their younger siblings. But really, oftentimes something wound up happening to the older sibling that nobody knew about.
Right.
So, yeah, man, it's like, this has really, doing this for all this time really has exposed me to how young kids start experiencing sex. Like, I got 3-year-olds getting their dick sucked. I got little girls getting all types of things stuck inside of them. Like, yo, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It's too traumatic for me.
It's wild.
Well, but to kind of like, not to transition, but give you some motivation. Like, as y'all know, I recently started a new job. I'm coming over to a completely new industry. I was in IT, same amount of years as you were, 8 years just doing IT. Now I'm doing finance, where I'm helping fund small businesses who are looking to grow their business. I'm sorry.
Just trying to commercial.
No. Listen, seriously. So it's a fact that anywhere between 90 to 95% of people that work their job dislike their job. They dislike what they do. You go to college and then you go through all these years where you're learning to specialize in your expertise, and then you get
Who's really an expert?
Hold on.
Totally not what I went to college for.
But I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. It's almost like I had a thought the other day. It's like, why is it that we go to college right after high school? You should be forced to like work for 2 years and then go to college. Well, I'm saying it's money, obviously. But I'm saying in terms of like,
you should be forced.
Not forced, but
no, I get it though. I understand what you're saying.
When you look at the way things are, and like what the typical person does, they graduate high school, they have a summer off, then they have this dream of what they want to do before they actually even know what it is that they want to do.
You know why people go to college after high school? Because niggas don't know what the fuck they want to do after high school. And college is the time to figure that shit out.
But how do you know what it's really like if you're not dealing with the real world situation of it?
What I'm explaining to you is...
Remember, I was a psychology major. I was a psychology major when I went to college. And I was a psychology major. Yeah, we was all psychology majors.
I took my first psychology class. I said, fuck.
I fell in love with it.
I'm moving over to business. Dog, I'm sitting in class. Dog, I lied to you not. Everybody was in that bitch sleep. I turn around, I look around, everybody just sitting there like, oh my God, I don't know if it was a party the night before. And I'm like, am I the only one struggling to stay awake in this shit?
I love the workings in the mind.
Man, Paul had a story one time.
And you can put it into everything that you do. Any field, psychology makes sense.
I get it.
Exactly.
Psychology is everything. Everybody has a brain.
We
all have a psyche.
Exactly.
We all have to socialize and interact with one another. So I get the importance of it, but sitting there and learning it, that shit is a whole nother experience.
What turned me off was the fact you got to go to school for like 11 years. You got to get your doctors before you make any money.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do everything with it. I definitely
stopped. You gotta be strategic. I mean, I think I've seen a lot with. You can do a broad range of things with your degree. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of people with degrees and God knows what, but doing something that has nothing to do with what they got their degree in.
Let's be real.
I mean, we got to get far past that.
We need to pull those stats.
Some jobs, yes, I think you need to have a particular background.
Like a doctor.
I mean,
like a teacher.
Like dentist.
Like a lawyer.
Certain specialties, definitely.
You should study your discipline 100%. Everything else is up in the air. Because you can open a business as a psychologist, you can open a business as, everything is business. Right. And that's why
ultimately right. Everything winds up being a business.
Because psychologists have to conduct business. Everybody got to conduct business. The universal language is what we do. As you spoke to economics earlier. So that's why business was home for me, because I can help everybody. It don't matter what you do. Everybody got to come to me at the end of the day if you plan on interacting or getting into this world and being productive from a monetary standpoint. And if I'm the home for that, if I can help people in that way, that's where my calling comes in. So it's just like financial literacy or whatever I tend to kind of think about a lot. That wasn't my goal while in college. It was more so of why didn't I learn this shit, or I would have never known this had I not come to college.
It's the experience of it. College, like it's the experience of being in college and like being around people that have all these other ideas that you wouldn't have necessarily had in your life had you not gone to college. You get introduced to a lot of different stuff in college.
I get
a lot.
You gotta scoped out what you're going to do.
Listen, people ask
what you're going to be.
What I do, because for the money that we spend doing this shit, it's like when I look at my fucking loan balance, when I gotta pay back, like, man, you done gave me that shit, I would have flipped it, then whatever, then I seriously. But the experience itself was priceless, dog. I can't shit, like, motherfuckers be disgruntled. There's a lot of people out here disgruntled.
That way, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people out here disgruntled with their experience in college, what they spent their money on. They don't feel like they're yielding the results. People forget that they had to hustle. Regardless, like no matter what you do, it's still a grind, it's still a hustle. But
you had to go to college already having some hustle.
But that experience, the people I met, the relationships I cultivated, the experiences I had, shit, would have never got that had I stayed in Philly. I don't give a damn. My whole outlook on life is different.
My network would be so much smaller.
It's smaller. Like my whole outlook on life is different. I spent 5 years in Indiana, Pennsylvania, around burgers and stuff, like which is people from Pittsburgh, Harrisburg.
I thought you were talking about food at first for a second. I was burgers. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
But all I'm saying is people from all different sides of Pennsylvania.
All I want to do is talk about
Stroudsburg.
All I really want to talk about though is what I did on my snow day.
Oh, you didn't get a chance.
Yeah, y'all completely.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Y'all completely forgot about me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Y'all completely forgot about me. What I did on my snow day was I worked as well. Even though it's not really that big of a deal, I just wanted to be a little.
Did you physically go into work?
Yeah. I got on the bus. I'm so motivated right now because as my doing what I do now, it's like it's way different than what I was doing before. Not really. It's still business development. It's still sales, but I have a realistic opportunity to change my life. And for me, it's like I don't have like that the type of job you have, the type of jobs that you guys have, where it's like it's mentally rewarding to do what you do, and you have to be accountable. My job is strictly solely based upon my well-being and what I can do to impact my livelihood. And I've just really reached a new level where I'm like, man, you look at people how they work nowadays, and you literally, you have a job. It's like that's your job. You're a part of a working machine. You know what I mean? For me, it's like I'm semi part of a working machine, but I have the opportunity to, you know, really impact my livelihood, my well-being. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, turn the heat up for y'all. If y'all getting a little cold, Daryl put his jacket on, his hoodie on. But you know, that's what I did. You know what I mean? I was like, and the only reason I talk about it is because I had the opportunity to change my life. So why not just focus? Fuck a snow day is what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Like, fuck a snow day. You get to a certain point where it's like it's a fucking snow day. To me, a snow day is a rain day. It's a sunny day. It's a cloudy day. It's like every day for me. I don't care what shuts down. All a snow day for me is an opportunity to take a step ahead of the competition. Because while everybody else is stopping. And everybody else is like, oh,
shut down,
I gotta relax. I got the off. I'm like,
right, I don't have to do that. I understand, but
imagine this. Imagine this. You make enough money that you can afford to take a day off.
I'm trying to make enough money where I can take every day off.
You on the grind.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So you on the grind is what you're saying.
The grind.
So you're on a grind. Everybody not where
you want me to say yes?
So that snow day is an opportunity for some people to relax. They feel good.
We're all on the grind. What if you would have said, fuck the snow day, I'm still going to the office. And then no one else is in the office. No one else is in the office. How do you think people would look at you?
For my vocation, or you talk about for my hustle?
From your current job. The job you work right now.
No, you don't get extra credit for going into the office. Just because
you don't get extra credit in terms of financially, you don't get extra credit.
No, you don't get extra credit. You're going to still get the same amount of work done from home that you would get in the office. See, my job has the privilege of you can be remote or you can be in person, which is physical. And I can work remote and still get the same amount of work done and be just as productive. My only issue is I have kids at home, so when I'm home, it's daddy time. And they don't care that I have work going on, even though I'm in the house. If I'm in the premises or anywhere, they like, oh, we can play with you. We can do the same stuff we do. I want you undivided. And literally, my daughter will lay on me until she falls asleep. She won't move. Like, she like, I don't want you to move. Don't do nothing. Let me fall asleep real quick. And that's my life. So it's just like I have to be away from them in order to be productive. But what I'm saying is my vocation doesn't require a hustle. My vocation requires me to get stuff done, of which I get that done. But if you're talking about hustling and being on the grind, then yeah, money don't sleep, I don't sleep. And that's a whole nother conversation. We'll talk about that later.
No, I can dig it. I can dig it. But I'm just saying for me, it was like the only reason I wanted to bring that up is that, you know, when we look at like society and we look at like a lot of things that we would typically do, it's almost like we are programmed to be a certain type of way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like a snow day comes about and it's like, oh, the world shuts down. But who's to say that you can't?
Well, let me explain.
Not the world, but you know, obviously the city that you're in where it's snowing, because it's not snowing everywhere. But everything is like, oh, this is our chance to relax.
Let me explain something to you. If you get in a
Mm-hmm.
car accident, let me tell you something.
Yes.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Yes.
Rest is important.
That's what the weekend is for.
I don't give a fuck if you was on a.
If you want to hustle, then you don't fuck a weekend.
I don't give a damn if you're on the way to make $100,000.
24 hours in a day.
If you're in a snowstorm, right? Somebody said I got $100,000 for you at this point. You on your way to get that $100,000, you get in an accident that puts you in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. That $100,000 wasn't worth getting in that accident for the rest of your life. So being on the grind, it sounds good. It's all pretty, and these are all the niceties people try to paint it as. Oh, if you on the grind, money don't sleep, everything don't move. It's money over everything. It ain't money over my health. It ain't money over my family. It ain't money over God. It ain't money over a lot of shit. So you have to pick and choose your battles. Now, if it's a snowstorm, it's inclement weather, and then risking my health, which in turn risk my family, in order to go get a couple of hours, I think I can take a day off in order to save myself, because without me, none of this shit won't get done. Right. So I can wait till tomorrow. So we can talk about it from a grind stand. I mean, it's good motivation. Sounds good on paper, and we can paint it as black and white.
Is your volume on your video? Let's see, let me do it. No sound. It is. I'm sorry. My bad.
We can paint it as black and white, but it definitely ain't black and white. That shit has a lot of intricacies to it, and people need to acknowledge that as well. Because before you know it, you're going to have a lot of people out here crashing and burning, because it's like money over everything. It's the reason niggas out here risking their lives every day, sticking niggas up, trying to take their money.
That's
right. For me, the goal is to be in a comfortable situation.
That's it.
And then start building wealth, financial wealth.
I agree.
And for me, it's not to be like to rush to get the financial wealth. I'm good where I'm at right now, and I got my plans, and my plans are in motion.
Like it's good.
Trying to turn this into a stream of income. I'm trying to have multiple streams of income. I mean, to the point where if I'm working for someone, it's because I'm choosing to, not because I need someone to pay me.
I disagree with you.
You call it what you want to have.
I disagree with you. fuck fun.
Yo, I dig it.
I'm saying that you just said something that kind of I completely disagree with. You said I'm comfortable right now. I'm comfortable where I'm going. There is a certain level of urgency that you have to be the people that we say we want to be. You talk about. Think about this. Think about this. For example, and I'll throw myself under the bus in terms of setting all of this like social media stuff up. I should have set that shit up as soon as we left.
Right.
You know what I mean? But instead, a couple days went by, and then finally Daryl felt that such urgency. There needs to be success. Success is driven by how urgent you are to get there.
Absolutely.
What are you waiting for?
Right. Absolutely.
Why is it that you feel like, oh, all right, I can take this day off, and if not, I'm going to burn myself?
You've been listening to Eric Thomas.
It's a certain way I want to make my money.
I haven't watched some videos.
No, you have. Go ahead. You've been on YouTube.
It's a certain way I want to make my money. I'm not in sales, so I'm not in that competitive type of pace.
Let me.
Go ahead.
No, what I'm explaining to you is you just shat on comfort. Comfort is cool. Comfort is great.
I'm trying to live a long
That
life.
don't mean you don't want
I'm trying to be
aspire
happy
for
every
more.
day of my life.
Comfort doesn't mean you're not motivated. It's like, all right, to be honest, you have to look at your circumstances and say to yourself, all right, do I make enough money now to sustain this lifestyle I live?
Exactly.
Right.
Do I have a home that I can provide security for my children? Do they have somewhere to raise?
That's appreciation. That's not comfort.
I don't understand. I think success also is different for everybody. So you say success, but it's so subjective because what success looks like for him may not be the same for you. So you have to think about that in terms of the way people move and how they aspire to get certain things. It's all different. Everything, you got to look at it in a subjective way because everything is subjective. Nothing is the same for you that it is for somebody else. And if it is, y'all just have that thing in common. It's all subjective.
I'm just saying, so when we talk about the 4Fives podcast, let's get rid of the podcast portion and let's look at the 4Fives. You know, we set ourselves up. We've done things in the past to try to get ourselves to the next level, right? We had these dreams when we were just graduating school that we were going to be these entrepreneurs. You know, we were going to be millionaires and we want to thrive together.
Absolutely.
So what's changed since then?
Let me explain something to you.
We've all
We've had
established
kids.
ourselves.
We established ourselves. But
Let me explain something to you. My drive to be a millionaire doesn't stop me from taking time out to smell the flowers. I do acknowledge that I'm coming from the bottom. You dig what I'm saying? And working my way up. So I can see the progress that I've made, that we've all made throughout our lives, and be like, oh, that's great. I'm not doing so bad. But
that's not enough.
No, it's
I
not
was
that it's
watching
not
this
enough.
podcast, and it was talking about how, I'm not podcast, I'm sorry, I was watching his TED Talks, and it was talking about success and happiness, and how we as human beings will oftentimes, so here's success, right? Happiness. It's supposed to be right here, but we put happiness right here. It's touching success. So we hit success, but we don't necessarily get to happiness, and what do we do once we hit a goal? We set another goal. Hit that goal. We never get to happy because we put them, we set these goals and we always say, once I get here, I'll be happy. But the reality is, psychologically speaking, statistically speaking, if you're miserable with $5, you're going to be miserable with $5 million because that's your mind. It's not, the thing isn't going to make you happy. It's your inner thing that's going to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You can't quantify it. Basically, you can't put a
can't
dollar
quantify
amount on
it.
happiness. That's why we got millionaires.
The thing about
Right.
no, that's not true. It's what is it that's making you miserable? If it's making you miserable that you're living in a small home where you're able to pay you're not able to pay your bills, you don't have to, you're dressing like not the way you want to dress, you know, you don't have the essential things the things that you would consider essential, you don't have those. Money can make you accomplish those things.
That's
but then you set another goal to get to some other point. So now you have this house and you want a bigger house.
Right.
So it's not. It's never.
But that's
gonna
material.
stop.
You're talking about aesthetics. We're talking about internally being happy. We're talking about the dude that lives in a shed. We're talking about the dude.
So you're telling me a homeless person living on the street can be really happy?
Yes.
They can have joy.
Yes.
They can
Yes,
have
100%.
joy.
He's shitting on you if you're not happy and you working every day and you come home to a warm house and he's happy in the street.
That's right, because he's hot.
So what? He's happy. We talking about happiness. In the happiness department, he's shitting on you, nigga.
Bro, what I am saying is that when we sit here and we equate comfort,
if he's happy, we get high.
Hold on, comfort. There's something that goes a word that goes hand in hand with comfort. You know what that word is? Level. Comfort level. So if you're sitting here at a certain comfort level, guess what? There's other levels of comfort.
Sure.
So why be comfortable being at this level is what I'm saying. That's my only point that I'm trying to
But you're
when would you ever? Where would you ever be comfortable?
Right? For me, it's also on a kind of chronological timeline. I know where I want to be by a certain age. I don't necessarily want to stop working. You know what I mean? I would like to be a professor. There's things I want to do. So I'm on my timeline. So when I say I'm comfortable, I'm saying I'm comfortable because I'm at where I feel like I'm supposed to be at. Like I know I'm doing a good job. You know what I mean? And my plan is going to go as I see fit. You know what I mean? I'm going to figure it out. But I have strategies. I have the ambition. The ambition hasn't stopped. I just told you, I've been saying all day and all week. I just sent y'all my budget. I'm showing y'all how I'm trying to build money. I'm trying to build wealth. I'm trying to have multiple streams of income. I just said I'm not joking. I'm trying to work for somebody by choice. Really, maybe for the health insurance. I want to work for somebody. But I want to not have to rely on somebody to pay me.
Right. I just paid off 2 credit cards this week. I'm wiping out debt. All the debt that I accumulated in my 20s.
Not to make it too commercial. You should point out what you said about in our group text about this being a 3 paycheck month. So what you should do is your 3rd paycheck.
Oh yeah,
March.
It's going to be a 3 paycheck.
March.
If you get paid bi-weekly, March will probably for you be a 3 paycheck month. And if you do what I have always said to do is as best you can if you're on a bi-weekly pay period, cut your bills in half. So put one on one check, put half on one check and the other half on the other check. See what you got remaining and do that. You map out your budget, you map out your expenses, and you map out what you got coming in. On March, and in March, you'll get your 3rd paycheck the final week of March. A lot of people will pocket that. That's an extra paycheck. Don't treat it like it's extra. Put it in the bank. Let it accrue a little bit of interest.
Or you could buy yourself.
But check it off in your budget as you're paying off. It's the first half. Right. It's got other stuff that is a bigger paycheck.
It's a bigger check.
So use that to get ahead on your other bills. Don't necessarily pay for on the bills. Keep that money in an account. But don't spend that money. That money is already accounted for. So use your regular budget. Just move forward. Now you're 1 paycheck ahead. And just stay another paycheck ahead. It's usually like 3 months a year where you get a 3 paycheck week if you're bi-weekly. I think August typically is 2. August is typically 1. And that's what you do. You get ahead. That's how I got ahead. Because I was in the habit of counting that joint as an extra check. I would ball out.
It's different. So it depends on your pay cycle. So I don't get paid the week you get paid. So it's different.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on what week you get paid.
Mine is June right now for my job now.
I tried so hard. I tried to keep it going, but no, it's about to explode.
I mean, it's the same idea, but I get what you're saying though, and that's definitely something that people need to take advantage of. And I think we get caught up financially because let's speak about it. Like being financially literate is not natural to people. We're spenders. We're all spenders. We're taught to spend. All of this like around us is built around consumption, and that's what I was like explaining. Like people weigh wealth in material, and we're taught to consume, but we're not taught to live and survive. And then once we learn how to survive, and then we can consume. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if I had the essentials to live a productive lifestyle, which is housing, food for nourishment, and means of transportation, which is always important.
I think it is.
Then after that, everything else is extra. So what's our cable bill every month?
Too much.
What's our phone bill every month?
I pay for cable.
What's our phone bill every month though?
I pay for internet.
Too much.
What's our phone?
Not too bad.
Cell phone bill?
I keep it low.
What is it?
Mine is $75.
$75 a month?
Yeah, just for my sole account. My kids ain't. My kids too young.
That's because I got the.
Mine
I got new phones and I'm paying on phones and all that shit.
Yeah, mine about 120, 115.
I be breaking my shit off.
Mine about 115 a month.
You got cases on it? You do got cases.
I have it now.
So outside of your housing, of course you got your in-house utilities. Like I didn't include that though. Yeah. But we got so far cable and just simple phones. That's going to be $100 a month. Let's say average. $100 a month on your phone. $100 for cable. Average. Some people paying like $250 a month for cable, but I'm just saying $100. Let's just be conservative.
You can't watch that.
Conservatively speaking, we don't need it, but we got it. You know, but all I'm explaining is we don't keep our overhead manageable enough in order to maintain our lifestyle as is. We have a whole lot of things that we don't need that we still spend money on, and influence or convince that we actually need these things.
Well, when you talk about that, I just think, and I don't mean to equate this to be so stereotypical, but I think a lot of the times as well, you know, it's us being black people, you know what I mean, we tend to need or want to keep up with the Joneses, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cultural thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like, the only reason I got Comcast is because when I grew up in my mom's house, she had Comcast, you know what I mean? So that became my norm in terms of when I get to my house, in order for me to be comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, it became something that I would consider I need. If I don't got fucking
so
cable,
Comcast was successful.
Comcast did a good job.
They did.
Yeah.
They did their part.
If
and you committed.
And
thank you for being committed, because now I can get the Sixers game via NBC ad. So which makes you the real MVP of this conference.
Exactly. So you're sitting here talking about people. When I got Comcast, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about y'all. I was thinking about the ability to help y'all watch the Sixers.
You was thinking about you. But at the end of the day, it helps me, of which I appreciate you for that. Because guys, that's me. I like to call myself Frugal Freddy.
Yeah.
Because when I go to the store, I'm tallying up. I don't give a fuck how much money I got in my bank. Which, that's not the factor. Mm-hmm. I want to know how bad I'm getting fucked tonight.
Man, for me, I go in knowing how much I would like to spend.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know how bad I'm going to get fucked tonight.
And I don't mean, if I'm enjoying myself, then I will spend more. Mm-hmm. But you don't never spend it on that. That don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
I mean, overall, we have to be on the budget. And what you were giving out earlier, most people, though, aren't on a budget. So some people go in blind, like they check their account, they don't know what they spent over the weekend or throughout the week. And whereas it's like second nature for us to be like, all right, I know I spent $100.
You gotta protect your money.
Right. You have to take care of that. People aren't that fiscally responsible or fiscally aware to be like, all right, these are my bills this month. This is how much I have coming in. This is how much I have going out. This is basically it's traffic, you know? And in that general conversation of me acknowledging that, all right, my paycheck, to keep math simple, is $1,000 a month. This is what I make. And my expenses are $800 a month. So I have $200 left over. What do I do with that $200? People are really YOLO out there. Mm-hmm. Whereas as though it's like, I know I have $1,000 coming in, but I don't even know I got $800 going out. I just know I'm out here. Right. And at the end of every pay cycle, I'm in the negative $200.
See, I've never had that. I can never really get into
understanding
that mindset. I've never had that mindset. From the time I started selling candy, I'm like, yo, you know
there's
what?
There's a lot of people out here that's like, fuck it. Like, I'm out here, I'm spending, like, or we'll go broke, or I got $500 to get me through the next 2 weeks. And I spend $450 of that in the first week.
No, I do remember for a period of time I was looking like that.
YOLO.
But that's when you got no choice. You know what I mean?
Because you got to get gas to get to work. Like, how the fuck you going to get to work?
I would have, I'm being honest, I've been Freddy.
You have access to other people's money.
I've always been the
type
of
if I
got 400, I got 100. And I always felt like emergencies going to happen. Like, I remember when I had my first car and shit. And this is how it first happened and shit. I had just got paid. I was lit. Had like $450 in my account. I was in high school at the time, nigga. I was first car. So senior year. So I had to see bring whatever. I go park and shit, park up and shit. And it was a snowstorm too at that. So I go park up and shit, go in, do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I come out in the next morning and shit, got a ticket on my car. I'm like, all right, cool, got a cool ticket, whatever. Shit, open that bitch up, she said $350. I look up, I'm parked in a fucking handicapped spot in the snowstorm.
And ever since then, you got your mom's tags on your car so you can park in your handicapped
It was
spot.
my mom. So let me explain. So I go home and shit, car in my mom's name. I go home. I'm like, God damn. I tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, how about they gave me a ticket on my stamp and shit? So she like, oh, you gonna pay that shit? I'm like, I know. I'm like, I just got paid, so you know, I mean, you don't put it up. No, you gonna pay that now. I'm gonna pay it now. I just got paid on Friday, so I ain't got no excuse. So I'm sitting there like, what you mean pay it now? So all this shit, she like, the car's in my name. So, even though the car's in my name, I'm not having that ticket on my record, dog. You gotta pay that. Hurt my little cotton freaking heart, but
didn't she have a tag though?
No, that was before. This was before my mom got
tag.
sick, dog. Remember, my mom got sick senior year, so I had to pay that $350. But ever since that day, it was like you gotta be ready. Like for whatever emergencies come my way, I had to have something on top just in case some shit comes up. I learned that shit from having a car and getting a $350. Just like last week, like I said, I just got told. I was tight.
Why you got told last week? I'm sorry.
Because I was parked. I was parked down Old City. I parked in a legal spot, but apparently they tow after 11 o'clock. I don't know why they do it. Whatever. That's another issue.
That's why you take an Uber that fucking.
Come on, dude. Don't tell me why or this is. You don't have to school me nothing, nigga. You're making the damage
you go to
worse.
college?
You're making the damage worse.
You pay loans to go to college.
He got multiple cars, so. That's you have. Each car that you've had has been told.
I probably did.
It's like, nigga, learn. Stop saying
That's true.
No. I got told on IUP before.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
150. Oh, let me tell you, I bailed this nigga out one time.
He gonna say all
let me
places,
tell you
but
this shit.
all his cars. I'm telling you, every car guy's told.
I got a story. Speaking of getting told, one day and shit, Leaf had a party and shit at the frat house of Indiana. So we had Indiana and shit. Khalid called my phone. Called my phone 20 times straight. I don't know what I was doing, but I was just waiting for my phone. I'm like, hey, nigga, you blowing me up and shit. I call him. Yo, cuz, what's up? Nigga, he had the 300. You couldn't tell Leaf nothing. You couldn't tell Khalid nothing. He had the green 300 when we was up IUP or whatever, right? This is when the 300 first came out. So it was like 08, 09, maybe. So anyway, Leaf like, dog, they got my car on the tow joint or whatever. They won't let my joint down unless I pay them. I was like, dog, they didn't tow your car. Like, you don't have to pay them shit until they tow your shit. He like, no, they said they ain't gonna release my shit until they tow bottom line. So long story short, I drive down there and shit, had to pay these motherfuckers like $150 to not tow his shit from that spot. In order, so speaking of getting towed, I bailed your bitch ass out.
Are you sure that's how it went down? Because I'm pretty sure I just rolled off. That was another time. I think it was another time he was getting ready. He was getting ready to tell me.
I know. I spent.
And I got the car.
I know. I spent. Where my 150?
Part my shit was like $20.
But yo, Leaf used to be vicious with the not paying you back.
Did I pay you back? Did I pay you back?
Fuck no. That's what I'm saying.
Over time, though, eventually I did though.
No.
You paid for that bottle today. That's $5 off that John.
But so, you know, I know we go.
It's taking one for the team, but speaking of getting two.
But I'm just saying, all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to say, stop fucking parking your car downtown. Because I got my shit too. I remember one time I was on a fucking date. You know what I mean? I was.
You got told, no, nigga. No, I was about to say when we got told down the
stadium. Down the stadium.
Nigga,
that was some bullshit.
That was some bullshit.
So we done the stadium, right? It's a boy down there. First of all, when I got told, you have a fire.
We was under the bridge. Yeah,
we was under the bridge. And the John said no parking on the other side of the street, right? And it's a nigga down there taking money. Was he taking money?
No. He was directing people like, yo, y'all good right here.
Good right here. Y'all good right here. But it said no parking at the other end of the block. But I got out of that.
No, nigga, we had to pay to get your shit back.
You had to pay to get back. But I shouldn't have had to pay because the sign, something was fucking with the sign. But either way, I've had my fair share of tolls. I got told.
All I'm saying is I ain't the only one that be getting told habitually.
But I learned my lesson. Ask me last time my car got towed. Last time my car got towed was then.
I've never got a car.
That was 2 years ago. So
no, that wasn't.
That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
You had that red car that we was just in.
Yeah, you right.
Yeah, several tickets.
Well, shit happens. All right, so
Tomato.
Tomato.
You be a bad.
I just didn't think. Like I never think about it. I get out my car and I'm just like, tra-la-la, and then I come back and be like, God damn it, you gotta pay for parking. And I'm like, fuck the city.
Speaking of to be in Star Trek and shit. That's how I felt like PPA just zipped down and shit. Like, oh, somebody's not working. Take that shit punk ass and take it. I'm like, yo, only people that do their job in the city is PPA. Like, if the cops were...
They don't work for the city.
I said in the city. Not work for the city. But what I'm saying is, only people that don't let motherfuckers get away with a crime is PPA. They is diligent in the city. And you thinking, all right, I'm outside of downtown like I'm good. Wrong. I remember one time, I'm on Wilton Avenue and shit, about to go into the cleaners. I'm just going to drop some shit off. The nigga seen me from across the street. The PPA boy seen me from across the street. So he's coming down this side of Wilton Avenue. I'm on this side park. He's coming down, checking for cars. Literally, he was waiting for me. So I walked across the street, go put my shit in the cleaners and shit. But as soon as I was about to walk into the door, this nigga made a beeline right back across the street to go get my car and shit. So then I run back. I turn back around. Ho, head. You ain't getting me today, and you did fucking wrong because you was walking down this part of the street, nigga. You ain't that diligent. Do you get a commission? I had to haggle this nigga. You get a commission for this shit? You get a commission for this shit? So why the fuck you so diligent in trying to catch my car? I'm only going here for 3 minutes, nigga. I put a quarter in that meter, went back across the street. I'm like, dog, this shit's some disrespectful. But that's...
You caught him before he gave it to you.
Fucking right. I caught that nigga in the... Because it's like, I seen him already.
They usually don't stop, though. Once they...
No, like, no, he wasn't right. He wasn't right. He didn't even see my license plate. Like, I literally was walking into the joint, and as soon as I started opening the door, he made a beeline across the street to try to go get me. So that's why I grinded him up, because it's like, nigga, you get a commission for this shit. Why you so diligent? White dude. But I'm like, why you so diligent? This one parking wars was out. Remember that shit used to come to
He was looking for the camera like,
yeah. Remember that shit was like, I was walking down the street, he act like he didn't see me and everything. Like, I looked down the street, he didn't make eye contact. I saw him, I'm dead at him. I looked at him and shit, he act like he didn't see me, checking people's shit or whatever. Soon as I like went to go touch the door to the cleaners and shit, this nigga beelined across the street.
So you saw him
tried to go get me, and I seen him trying to go across the street, so I booked back over there and caught him in the act. I'm like, you really just tried to stop me and go get my fucking car, nigga? You get a commission for this shit? Why you trying to get me through a quarter of that meter real quick? And
as you said that shit, you like, yeah, nigga, you trying to...
Yeah, fuck out of here. But I had to know, like, do y'all really get a commission for this shit? Do y'all really fucking...
They got quotas.
About y'all job. They got quotas. Don't quote my ass. All I'm asking is, do y'all get a commission? Fuck a quota. If everybody get a quota to keep your job, but that doesn't mean that you're enforcing the law. Because at the end of the day, if there's people legally parked and you have quotas to meet, that might make you turn you into a predator and start to manipulate the situation where you're writing tickets.
Parking predator.
Where you're writing tickets where people didn't have to get a ticket.
Right.
So if you have a quota to meet,
we're going to feel powerful, right?
If we have a quota to meet, that means I'm out looking for motherfuckers trying to make sure I meet this quota.
They are.
Okay, and if they're trying to meet that quota, does it necessarily mean that you were illegally parked? Or will people sometimes job some shit up real quick to meet their quota?
Kind of like cops.
I'm just asking.
I've got, the whole 2 hours drink. First of all, my issue is, how do you know when I started parking here? So I like to think that they start clocking when they do their rounds, but sometimes
that's what they do.
Sometimes, at least on one occasion, I've had them clock me for a time that I wasn't there. And I was in the joint for 30 minutes because I was running into the school district building. Ran back out, it was a legitimate 30 minutes. I got a ticket, 2 hour parking. He had me in there, let's say it was 3 o'clock. He had me in there at 1:30. Whatever it was, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock. He had me in there at 1 o'clock.
That's an hour and a half.
He had me in there at 1 o'clock. I'm like, no. When I fought it, there was no way for me to have to dispute it. I didn't take a picture when I parked.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta take a picture of the top of your car, like this is my watch. I'm spinning here at this time, and this is when I got back to my car.
Confirmation. So that's confirmation that these motherfuckers know how to find the loopholes. Like, 2 hour parking.
That's what he happened to me once.
I'm getting so.
It's
probably happening to thousands of people. So what I'm explaining to you is, where there's quotas to be met, there are people that will do whatever it takes to meet their quota, which allows for people to abuse their jobs.
I agree.
So fuck them. I hate PPA. I hope everybody lose their job and PPA get expunged. I'm sorry. I know people.
It's supposed to be a source of revenue.
Let me explain this more. So money's supposed to go to the school district.
Oh yeah, 1%, right?
I don't know what the percentage was.
No, it was 1%. It was 3%.
PPA just got audited.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they ain't paid none of that shit.
So they were hiding revenue. No,
yeah, they were skimming.
They were skimming. So meaning they were hiding revenue. So they would report a certain amount of revenue, which was to get taxed for the school district. So they would say we made $100 million in a year, which is light to them. But anyway, say they made $100 million. They was probably reporting that they made 50. So
How though?
I don't know. But what I'm explaining is...
Why you say so high?
I don't know. But what I'm explaining to you is these motherfuckers been lying anyway. So while they try to make it like they had this altruistic vision of possibly making PPA beneficial to the people of the city, they've been hiding money anyway.
So we're going to backtrack, right? We're going to explain what this altruistic word means. You're going to be using big words, man.
Altruistic means giving of self, like being
frugal.
Not frugal, but being generous. Being generous.
Giving.
Yeah, giving.
I knew what it meant. I'm just saying, not to say other people didn't know what it means.
No, you're saying that other people didn't know what it means.
When you start using words that normally means, like, wait, all right, I'm acting like I did know what that meant, but I'm gonna move past it.
Thank you, Miss Warshaw.
Or take the context.
Thank you, Miss Warshaw.
Miss Warshaw.
Yeah, take the context.
We're just talking about Miss Warshaw, yo.
Or you know how I learned what that word meant? I ain't learned it in high school. I maybe learned what that word meant like 2 years ago. I was in an argument with my ex-girlfriend, and she said that shit, and I was. At one point I told myself, like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about when you say that shit. Like, she's like, you're being altruistic towards everybody. I'm like,
why was that in the argument?
What
was you saying that she was upset?
Because I was at the bar, I was spending.
That wasn't being altruistic.
That was
being irresponsible.
No.
We don't call it altruistic. Being at the bar and buying people drinks is not an altruistic act. That's just being irresponsible.
Oh man, but I think today was.
There's a difference.
I think today was a good day. I'm glad that we got what we got. We had to talk.
No, but
we had an hour.
So what, bitch? You still talking?
I gotta be a bitch.
I'm sorry.
Says your name softly.
Exactly. But I mean, honestly, like being realistic though, because we kind of got into things. It is natural. We did say we were going to cover a couple different topics today. I think we covered none of the topics in the whole conversation.
We talked about snow days with snow day. We did that.
One thing I would actually like to get into.
Yeah, talk with the sexism.
Yeah. That's one thing. We talk about all the different stuff. We talk about this. One thing that kind of is burning my bridges is like, I mean, I don't have bridges, but it's a saying.
No, I know, but it's not used for what you're saying.
Don't worry about it.
Just means it's upset me. It's just upset me internally.
Just roll with it.
That is not burning bridges.
Well, your bridges are under your clothes, and if your bridges are under
your bridges.
Britches. Underwear.
Britches, I'm sorry.
Britches.
You know what really chaps my ass?
I think burning bridges. I'm thinking that.
Oh, you're burning, don't burn a bridge?
Yeah.
Go ahead, though, guys.
I guess you can use that in a sense.
Bridges. You're American. Why do you say bridges?
Because it came out that way. I'm a little tipsy. I had a few shots. My bad.
Tipsy hustle out here. All right.
But so one of the topics we were supposed to kind of go over, especially because we got the Shay here. Shout out to the Shay for making that. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a guest appearance. This is a consecutive appearance, but shout out to her. Give me a round of applause. Shout out to her for being on the show.
She's great.
Because hanging around us ain't the...
Hanging around us is a fucking pleasure.
It's my
experience by women speaking around us.
Let our ego speak.
I'm saying.
Let our ability speak.
Feel safe.
You feel comfortable. We make you feel a part. Right?
Part of.
We censor ourselves in a.
Alright, let's keep
it. Now, that's the wrong word. Censor. We got to do right word.
Full disclosure.
I don't want that part, though.
Shay's known us for over 15 years anyway, so she's 100% like in.
Alright, so the topic I want to talk about is the hypocrisy of sexism. And then let's give you a prime example so we can kind of build off of this. So you have a woman, right, that is like, okay, women should be as have as much equal opportunity as men should in everything. So if there should be women in the army, there should be women in the police force, there should be female firefighters, there should be female everything. But then you have a female who will suck a guy in the face 5 times, and then as soon as he turns around and just, let's just say he gives a polite shove.
Let's say he turned around and slapped the shit out of him.
She's like, you hit me.
I'm going to jail.
I'm going to jail. That, to me, I don't know about anybody else, is some B-U-double-L shit.
You should have said the boy.
Yeah, I've never heard it laid out that way.
That's new shit for you. You can do it again.
All right, explain. So what you're saying is, with us acknowledging the fact that women are equally capable to do anything that a man can do in this society,
But
the double standards that still exist are.
And I'm going to give you a prime example. So, not even a prime example. I'm going to give you what someone would say back. They would say, well, a man is
Stronger.
10 times stronger. Well, that's why the fuck he's a police officer, and that's why he's in the army, and that's why he's a firefighter, because there's physically certain things that a man can do. But we're talking about the hypocrisy of it, and where is the middle ground? Where is it that, why can't certain things be sexist and certain things not be sexist? That's my thing.
All right, let's expound on.
Why are there not certain shit where it's like, okay, a man should be doing this and a woman shouldn't be?
So in terms of physical,
What is there that?
do you think women should compete with men in basketball?
I got
Let's talk about.
I'll give you one example. I got a cousin. My cousin Ashley. I got a whole big ass family. We used to take 10 to the basketball court. We'd go down to the court. We would run it 5-on-5 against each other.
All right, so
she used to run point guard.
You saying women?
If she got a jump shot, yeah.
You saying women should be able to get drafted?
If she got a jump shot. If she got a jump shot.
You said, so we don't need a
She can dribble.
So you saying we don't need a WNBA? We should just weigh the women the same way we weigh the men.
Do you think if a man played in the WNBA, for example, Joanna
Man?
do you think that would be fair?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I'm saying clearly not. We're talking about physically.
I'm asking.
I'm saying
no. When I'm talking about from a physical standpoint or physically in nature, is there a strength equivalency? You're saying?
I just think that people need to get real. I think that the problem is the world is still.
Does the male lion and the female lion weigh the same?
I mean, there's been situations where female
I
lions
think
have
this is
fucked
not
up.
it though. I think double standards aren't just about physical shit. I
I
think
know,
it's way more to it.
I was going there. But
as
you can go ahead and lead this conversation because I was going there. Go ahead.
I'm not going to lead the conversation, but I think if we're talking
no, lead it.
double standards,
Explain
I think
it.
we need to talk about a lot of different things. I think we need to talk about the workplace and how women make less on a dollar than men do. It's a lot of different things.
Can I stop it? Can I stop it?
Because
right
most
now?
men are
No,
ahead of.
can I
I'm
stop
sorry.
it? I have a story.
Why?
I have a story.
Pause.
Pause it. Pause for the cause. Explain it. Okay. Let's say women make less than men do. Now, you're sitting in a room full of black men.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't count for us. Or does it?
What do you mean it doesn't? Because you're black men?
Yeah. No, I'm just
I don't
asking
even think we want to get into that because
No.
if we're looking at that part of
Let me
it.
stop it. I'm just asking a
Okay.
question. Do you think women make less than men or just black men? I mean, all
I
men?
think women make less than men, period.
Period, right?
Overall.
Right,
I'm
overall,
looking at
right?
the overall
All right,
thing.
cool. So, I was
But
explaining.
there are more white people in America.
Time out. Can I
I
stop?
don't want to get into that because that's a
I'm
different
about to-
conversation
I'm
entirely.
about to.
That his
I'm about-
counterpart was making more than him.
No, what I'm saying is this conversation talk about men in general
Or black men.
I am talking about men in
Because I think
general.
we can't. Let me explain. So I work in corporate America, right?
Mhm.
I have counterparts that are men, women, all different genders, all different races, whatever.
You want to talk about something specific when the overall
No,
thing.
my experience of which I can only draw from because
Right.
we can talk about overall, but what I'm saying is when we're in a room talking about pay inequality and shit, there are only certain people that there are only certain people that can feel these arguments. Like I can't sympathize with the feminist movement in terms of salary because black men aren't getting paid the same as white men either. Black men are actually getting paid less than white women. So where in the workplace. Mm-hmm. I'm just talking about the workplace.
Uh-huh.
So we're the victim as much as any woman in America.
Because less is less.
Because the equivalency isn't drawn, it's not a male and female thing. Like this equivalency is literally white men making more than everybody else. It's not men, period. It may be, in other, now I'm not going to be ignorant to other cultures. There may be Indian men that make more than Indian women or Asian men, whatever. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about from a group that's been marginalized along with all of the women. Basically, black men are the greatest allies to feminists.
I agree.
That's true.
I agree.
And when we're having these conversations, we tend to attack one another. Like, whereas it's like, black men, we have to still bear the same burden as if we're making as much or we're as responsible as the white man or any other man for holding their women back from making what they're supposed to make. And I can give you a prime example where I'm working in a workplace where my coworker, who happens to be a female and happens to be white, made $20,000 more than me for doing the same exact job.
It's a lot.
So let's explain the struggle of that women are fighting for that we get ignored because nobody acknowledged. They're saying men make more than women, so we get grouped into that group. But in all actuality, we're with y'all. We're not with them.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that dynamic has yet to be acknowledged in these conversations about pay equality or pay inequality.
It takes this though. It takes a conversation.
Yeah, no. We're talking about it.
Like
yeah.
it takes a conversation to happen for
but
anybody
this
to
is
be
something
clear
that
about.
I learned the hard way. But it's like in learning those stipulations of the situation, it was just like I knew that I was being treated different. I knew that I was fighting a different type of fight. I knew that I was on y'all's side, but I was ostracized or put outside of that argument because feminists tend to look at men into one box.
It's the boxes, period.
Yeah,
feminists,
that
men,
we're all together on.
Men.
That we're all together into suppressing these groups and trying to marginalize and keep people on the margins where, no, it's not. We're all fighting the same fight and we have the same struggle. Now, what the best thing would be for us to do especially as black people, is to work together where the feminist female shouldn't alienate the black male from that group and make us a part of it, especially on the black side, because it's like we're with y'all. We're struggling with y'all. We're not struggling without y'all. We're going to jail at a higher rate than everybody else. We're losing. Bottom line is we're losing. And we have to be on the same accord in order to really fight the system. And if we're looked at as them as one of the enemies, then we're not ever going to get anywhere. And that's the frustration that I had as a black man, because it's just like, while I want to be on your side, while I want to fight for the rights of a woman, I'm fighting for the same rights too. So don't treat me like I'm an outsider, like I'm an enemy.
Feminists to straight say white men, or somehow, how do you?
I think feminists. I think with everything, there's people that will try to manipulate a situation to make it seem like anything that works in their favor. So, prime example, if we had an interaction with a woman of which she felt like we said some shit to her from a male perspective that would kind of go along with the narrative of, oh, you're just a man, you're just, this is what men say. Like, just basically put us into a box. And then we tend to look like a sexist or anybody that, don't agree with them. But it's just like, no, we're different. We're males, we're females, we see things from two different perspectives. Let's agree to disagree. But
that's my favorite adult thing to do, agree to disagree.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's a very adult thing to do. I mean, people are ignorant to that fact. But from a political standpoint, if you're going to look at it like from a male-female perspective, there's nuance to it. You can't say that men make more than women. No, the fuck we don't. Especially black men. So
But you got see,
let's eliminate that. Let's eliminate that aspect of the argument.
Where you lose me with that is that you got to talk about, you know, with your specific situation where y'all were doing the same thing. That's one situation. But
No, it's not. This shit is across the board, my nigga. You think you're gonna take care of it? If we're talking about,
I mean, you can say what you want to be,
but if we're talking about it from the white male dominance perspective, then you think he values us more than he values his woman? Like, really?
We value black people value our woman way more than
what I'm asking you is one question. Does he value us, black males, more than he value his woman? I'm talking about from that perspective.
Yeah? Does a white man value black men more than he values his white woman?
So he'd rather see you get paid before you pay his woman.
No, he knows you're gonna work harder.
I was about to say more as a workhorse.
Yeah, we've been working hard for how many years, and have we ever been paid what we supposed to get?
Join the team.
How many years have we been? How many years have we been working? And we still haven't gotten what we deserve.
I appreciate that.
Is that the shotgun from my party? That looks familiar.
I'm battering about that.
That shotgun.
So we gotta wrap it up. I mean,
Can we
We can still
revisit this,
record.
please?
Let's keep
We can
going.
still record.
Okay.
Let's keep going. But I'm just asking a question.
Why you flip the camera?
Like, are we exempt from this conversation? If so,
I'm not exempting you, and I think that's the thing also. Because I brought that up, that doesn't mean that I think that men should, broader, since we're talking about feminists and men in that group, I love being a woman.
I'm sure you
advocate for being a
love
woman.
women. I advocate for women too.
Right. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't allow somebody else to love me. That's ridiculous. If you want to love me, give me all the love you have to give to me. I'm not going to put you outside of it because you have a penis. That's absurd.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's me. I can't speak for everybody else. So
sex is a weapon.
It is. How do you use it?
I use it for good. I do. I use it for good. It is a healing quality in it, and I use it to heal the world. That is my honest opinion.
Hold on.
Remember, my joke can't record for some reason.
Try again.
We have 115. We gotta wrap this shit up. This is very
all right, cool. Well, I mean, in synopsis, I mean, overall, what I just want
we got topics for next week.
People to understand, like, from my perspective, the struggle isn't just with women; it's with society, and we have to fight together. Whether
it's hard though.
I know because, like I said, if we alienate each other, if there's a lot of infighting,
I agree. I
there's
agree
a lot
with
of
you entirely,
infighting.
but it's so
And what I'm saying is black men, white women, black women,